Hello, my name is Pastor Lee Harder, and I serve the people of St. Paul Lutheran Church in Bulverde, Texas. Grace and peace to you and yours as we remember those who have served this nation and are now at peace in the Lord. A few months ago, I had the privilege of conducting a graveside service at Fort Sam Houston Cemetery. In almost 40 years of pastoral ministry, I have seen and presided over a great many graveside services with military rites. Each one was special because, in every case, many veteran volunteers came together out of respect for the one who had served the nation. These volunteers from the area were there to honor their comrade in arms and participate in the final volley salute. There were the sounds of taps, sometimes recorded and sometimes performed live, but always with dignity. All of this was culminated by the presentation of the flag to the family. Yet, as special as all those were in the past, this one I participated in at Fort Sam was extra special because it was a cut above anything I had ever seen up to that point. From the beginning to the end, these active military personnel, both men and women, moved with a solemn dignity and precision that was awesome to witness. For me, the folding of the flag, with as much care and respect as anyone is capable of showing, and then the slow salute as the flag was presented to the family, struck a chord. I was truly moved. It was indeed a special moment I felt privileged to be a part of that day. Now, why do I mention it in this week's blog? Simple. For two distinct and very important reasons. First, this is Memorial Weekend. A great many people will take getaways, headed to the beach or just out of town. They will enjoy and celebrate a day off from work or school, a long 3-day weekend, and the beginning of summer. There'll be barbecues, picnics, and parties to relax and unwind. All of these things are nice, certainly welcomed by all, but they are not what Memorial Day is about. Memorial Day is a reminder to a people of a nation, these United States, to keep in their thoughts those men and women who, over the years of this great republic, have protected her sovereignty, fought for her liberty, and sacrificed for her honor. We remember those who gave their lives in battlefields around the world, even on our own hallowed ground right here at home. We remember those who survived the battles and wars, bearing the scars, often in silence the rest of their days, who also have died and gone on to the peace that only God can provide. Oh, and I truly believe this land, this republic, is indeed hallowed ground, a blessing from God to be used and treasured for the sake of all people. Like Israel of old, I see this country as a land flowing with milk and honey. And like Israel of old, God can just as easily bring down his wrath upon us as he did on Israel in its history when we forget who it is that has blessed us with its abundance. And that brings me to my second reason for writing and recording this blog. I am appalled by those who disrespect the flag by spitting on it, burning it, and generally treating it with anything less than the respect and honor it deserves. And when we do that, in the process of our desecrating the flag, we are also doing the same to those who have served our nation, are serving our nation, under that symbol in its armed forces. Look, I get it. This country has done terrible things over its history for which we should be ashamed. Surprise. What else can one expect? As I remind the people of this congregation I serve, we are by nature sinful and unclean. We human beings are not perfect. However, our flag doesn't symbolize the wrongs or evils we have done, but the heights of greatness to which we aspire. In the same way, We as Christians are guilty of sin, way too much sin. But our sinful state is not what God intended or created us to be. He made us to be better than we are by living up to our potential. We do not condone our sin or wallow in it. Instead, we aspire to live in the example of our Lord Jesus Christ by rising to the greatness God desires from us. Our founders, imperfect men and women as they were, who established this nation, did so as a beacon for liberty and freedom for the world, saw what it could be, and pledged their lives, their fortunes, and their sacred honor to strive toward that goal. They became the first generation of soldiers to sacrifice in the service of the nation and its people. There have been countless numbers of such courageous people since. They believed in the greatness that this nation can be. I understand. One can indeed protest and acknowledge the shortcomings of a nation. It's our right. The wrongs that have been done without maligning the symbol that defines us or condemning those who have served and are serving in our armed forces by their sacrifices and dedication to that flag and what it represents. It is the service of these men and women throughout our nation's history that makes it possible for those who are dissatisfied to protest and selfishly behave as if no other opinion or position has validity if it differs from theirs. I'm old-fashioned in the likes of, well, some lyrics by Jim Croce. You don't tug on Superman's cape. You don't spit into the wind. You don't pull the mask off the old Lone Ranger. And you don't mess around with Jim. Well, I don't know much about Jim, but I firmly believe you don't mess around with our flag or her troops. Protest? Sure. You have the right. And we have that right because of what that flag symbolizes and the men and women who gave their blood, sweat, and tears to make it so. We all need to remember that the blessings that God has given today can be quickly taken away tomorrow. This Memorial Day, have some fun, relax, and enjoy the company of family and friends. I have every intention of doing precisely that. But I would encourage you to take a moment or more to remember those who have served this nation and its people. You might even pray a prayer of thanksgiving. Give thanks to God that He blessed us with such people and thank them for all they have done. And those are my thoughts. God bless.